Hello, everyone, and welcome to Championship Lanes here in Anderson, Indiana for the 2021 Indiana Masters. And Mike, after a long day of bowling, we're down to our final two competitors. The winner of the winner's bracket, Matt Sanders, will take on Kevin McCune, and this should be one heck of a match. And Kevin's going to have to beat Matt twice in order to claim the championship.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to look several rounds ago, these were the two that were on a course to win it, or to meet each other, and here they are.
And Kevin he lost in round number 2 to Trent Marner, but since then he has just reeled off a bunch of huge wins.
He's made all the right moves and shot big games consistently.
And now we're ready for our first shot of the championship match. Here's Matt Sanders, our championship pair, lanes 7 and 8. Championship lanes, a 46-lane center here, 45-lane center, or 44-lane center. And I'll get it correct here sooner or later, folks. And we're going to use 7 and 8 in the championship pair. And I want to thank our sponsors once again, Motive Bowling, Big Four Sox, Pinheads Bowling Center in Fishers, and Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette, and also the Anderson Madison County Visitors Bureau for their contributions. And no surprise, both competitors start off with a strike.
No surprise, yeah. Two great shots to start the match. Beautiful shots. What a way to start.
All right. Thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live. Scott Gilmore, Mike Aulby, championship match. And this could go down as one of the greatest championship matches in recent history. And these boys have a lot of work to do to one-up the new sisters from the Queens, but this could be one of those matches.
Well, I think it's the two guys that we thought for several rounds here that we're going to probably meet that way. But most times it doesn't always work out that way in a one-game match. But it certainly has so far today. And two great players, a lot of talent, and they've been shooting the games all the way through to get here.
Kevin McCune's got to defeat Matt Sanders twice in order to claim the championship. Matt just has to win once, but he's got a tough spare here in the second frame.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get that 8 out in the back.
Oh, and he leaves
the 4.
Yeah, leaves the 4 pin.
Yeah.
That's just a tough spare on any condition.
Yeah.
The championship pair 7 and 8, and this has been one tough condition to conquer, so to speak. But Kevin McCune has done it since he lost to Trent Marner in the second round. He lost 230 to 195. I'm sure he's shot less than 230 the rest of this way, and he's just steamrolled everybody else.
Yeah, he has got lined up early and made great shots and carried.
Also want to thank our producer, director, engineer, Chad Lester, and you can see him right there. And we've been here a lot of hours and appreciate his dedication to bringing you all the action here in the state of Indiana when it comes to bowling here on Savage Bowling TV. And now here's Kevin McCune with the front two as Matt Sanders rebounded nicely there with a strike in the third.
Shot.
Oh, in the bucket.
A lot of speed. And, there's no practice on this pair before they started. So, a lot of times that first time for Matt Sanders on that right lane wasn't what he expected. So,
yeah, and it's also a situation, too, where these guys are, the nerves are at its peak. You're bowling for not only the money, but you're bowling for the championship. And we talked, the money is gone at some point, but the title and the resume
your name's
addition
up there.
is,
Your name's up there and stays there.
You're remembered for a long time at that point.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try to move things around here, and we're going to bring you this first game of the championship match here on Facebook Live. We'll try to give you the best look as we can here. We'll reverse this for you. And here's Kevin McCune.
Great pin action there.
And we'll get our shot here for you on Facebook Live. We appreciate you watching on Facebook Live, but we also appreciate you watching on Savage Bowling TV. And remember, go to YouTube, Savage Bowling TV, subscribe. And we got a lot of great bowling content coming up. And plus, you can go back and watch a lot of our old shows as well. And I recommend watching the State Queens from 2020. Great telecast. And there it is again, the 2-4-7-8. And
well, you know, you believe that Matt had to make a move on that lane, but the lane did the same thing. So, you know, it would. He's got to make sure he made a good shot. That's the key. That you made a good shot so you can make that adjustment. And it's another tough. It's the same spare, but it's a tough one. Good shot.
And he converts at that time.
Yeah.
All right, Matt Sanders now with a 6 spare in the 4th, but he finds himself down 18 early here in the first game of potentially 2. And now we only bowl 2 if Kevin wins the first one. So we're trying to keep our volume down and our voices as much as we can because we're right behind the action.
Yeah, we're right there.
Great shot from
Good
Matt.
shot, yeah.
Solid 8-pin.
Yeah, that was a good shot. You saw the ball start up fairly early. Boy, it flushed up nicely. Wouldn't count on the 8-pin. Don't want to leave the 8. It was a great shot, though. The key's going to be if Matt can get that right lane under control. Not only for this game, but if he has to go another one, he's going to need that right lane.
He was perfect on the left lane until that shot right there.
Yeah, I'd stare that one down too. That was a great shot.
You got to think that Kevin kind of smells blood in the water here early in this match with the strike in the 4th. Really could.
Well, he's come up light, you know, the last couple shots. I mean, you know, he struck on the last one. You'll see if he makes a move here. He's been a lot of speed. A little better. Oh, a little less speed, but it didn't quite make the corner.
It doesn't quite have the drive that it did on the other pairs.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 and 6, that ball was making a good break towards the end, and but he's still in control of the match. Good spare.
Again, we want to thank you for watching on Savage Bowling TV and watching on Facebook Live. The title match here between Kevin McCune and Matt Sanders here from Championship Lanes at the 2021 Indiana Masters. Oh, that was a great shot.
Yeah, great shot.
Looked like he made a ball change there.
Did look different. Yep. Good
and
shot.
How kind of advantage is that you can just go to the same cover but just a little bit different layout, and then you're not worried about having to move very much. You stay right where you're at with your feet.
Well, but it also shows how prepared he is, and that his equipment feels the same and fits the same, so he can come out of a ball like that. Usually, I mean, it's difficult to switch from ball to ball. Your thumb doesn't always clear as well, your fingers, but that was a tremendous shot. And the confidence, you can see the confidence in what he's doing.
And he's really struggling with the right lane.
Well, that ball's just breaking loose early, real early.
And that can happen so easily here. The fronts can start drying out and back end is tight, and you're trying to control the fronts, and the ball just hooks.
Yeah. He's going to continue to make his spares and try to stay close in this one to try to have a chance at this one. But you got to get this right lane under control in case you have to do another one. Great spare.
Good spare. Not a spare you want to be shooting at a lot. And he's had to shoot the 2-4-7-8 more than he'd like, and he's 1 for 2 on it. Now he's 1 for 1 on the 2-4-7.
Well, being that was the 3rd time on that lane, you think you got to believe that it's not the adjustments he's made. He's not sure what's happening there. It's because he would have, knowing Matt, I mean, he's already lined up. He would have lined that back up and been back in the pocket, but something's not happening that he's counting on.
Now on the left lane here. Flat 7. And now, when do you start questioning your ball reaction if you're Matt Sanders?
Well, I think you're not concerned about the left lane. I think you're definitely concerned about the right lane because you haven't found the pocket yet. And by leaving that solid 8 the time before, it cost him 3 pins and count on the right lane. You know, so all these shots are loosening up Kevin a little more. So, but he knows he's got the other game, but he doesn't want to use it for sure. So you got to get dialed in here pretty quickly.
And how frustrated are you if you're Matt Sanders? You get all this way to the final match, and all you're asking as a player, just give me a good ball reaction. That's all you really want, right? Because then it's down to execution.
I'm not so sure he's still not comfortable with that. I think the right lane's doing something that he's not counting on, but solid 10. And see, Kevin's got a couple of, hits that didn't go, so he's kind of waiting there for Matt. But you figure it's a 3-frame race here.
Yeah, 23-pin lead here with the spare in the 7th for Kevin McCune. And that's what you want to do. You just, if you're Kevin, if I fill frames, at some point in time, Matt's going to have to throw a double.
He's got to strike, yeah,
to get back in this match. So again, we want to thank you for watching on Facebook Live, on Savage Bowling TV on Facebook, and on Savage Bowling TV at YouTube. And another
nice shot.
solid strike there for Kevin McCune.
Well, this is going to be a big shot here.
This is going to tell the story, isn't it?
Yeah, a version of the 2-4-7 3 times in a row. So
you got to think that this shot right here is going to determine whether or not we bowl 2 games. Because it's go time now if you're Matt.
More speed. Good
Great shot.
Good shot.
Oh.
Well, now we're in the 9th where, if he wants any chance here, this 9th frame is going to be the one he needs to have. And he's made good shots on the left lane. We've seen him hit the pocket.
He's going to control those angles a little bit and try to keep your angle in front of you. Definitely don't want to give anything away here. Big shot here for Matt. Oh. Was that a product of missing left, or is that just a misread on ball reaction?
I think he missed left, but it went through the hook point, so he didn't get that earlier roll that he's had before.
Oh, Matt's about to give away his advantage, and that was his one game where Kevin was going to have to beat him twice. Unless something drastically happens to Kevin, you've got to think this is going 2 games.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help.
And if you're Matt Sanders, are you preparing to try to figure out something here at the end of this game, and knowing that you're going to go a second game, is he thinking what he's going to do this next game?
Yeah, he's trying to get line back up and process everything he's seen and done so far.
Well, in this game,
Kevin hasn't run away and hid from him, so he has that he hasn't seen Kevin shoot the 230s like he has been. So for both of them, they've seen a little something different.
Kevin's kind of showing that he's a little bit human right here. Yeah. He's still got a mark in order to shut out Matt here. So this is not over yet. 10th frame, left lane. Working on a spare. Oof.
Well, I mean, it is a title match. I mean, there's more nerves there. There's more things like that. But it certainly seems like they're getting a little bit different reaction than what they're counting on or expecting.
Well, with that 7 count, anything less than a spare here, Matt's got a chance to win this game. That'll take care of
Yeah,
that.
take care of that.
Well, I know one
That ball
thing.
gets down there in a hurry, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a license plate on it, doesn't it? If we try to throw something like that, you got to replace my arm, I think.
I need traction. Yeah, I'd be out.
Nobody ever really. What guys on tour in your day threw a spare shot that hard?
His father, Eugene McCune. Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's just like watching a videotape of his dad shoot spares.
All right, we're going to go 2 games here for the championship.
Good solid game. Good solid game.
He moved farther left, it looked like. And that was a good ball reaction.
It did.
I wonder if he'll try to make that move on
a lot of speed,
the left
too.
lane. Yeah.
A lot of speed.
Well, we knew it seemed like these 2 players were going to meet at some point, and Kevin McCune takes game number 1 here, and now it's a 1-game match for all the marbles.
Well, the ball wants to just jump when it gets in a little. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's going to take good shots by Matt. Matt and Kevin both. They're both going to need to make good shots, because if they don't, it shows up on the other end of the lane.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast booth here. Scott Gilmore, Mike Aulby. I'm adjusting our Facebook Live camera, who's right off to that side over there. And here, we're going into game number 2, Mike, of the final match. And the advantage that Matt had is gone. Who's got the advantage, and what do you see that Matt needs to do here?
Well, I think Kevin has the advantage because Matt has trouble with the right-hand lane. And if Matt can hit the right-hand lane, then he's got a chance. If he's just bowling on one lane, I think, because Kevin's pretty comfortable on both, even though he has to make good shots.
Who's got more of the pressure? Is it the young kid, Kevin McCune, or is it the seasoned veteran, Matt Sanders?
I think it's Matt right now, just because he's not as comfortable in the lanes as Kevin is.
All right, 1 game to decide all the marbles here, and
although that'll loosen you up right there.
Kevin starts out with a Brooklyn strike, and if you're Matt Sanders, that's the last thing you want to see is Kevin throw a bad shot and get a break out of it. But
well, it is the title match, so it changes a lot of things. It changes people's thinking. It changes people's body language. Their everything. So you got to just go back to what you're doing, thinking about your shot, and that's it.
Well, now here's Matt Sanders.
This is a big shot right here. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is give Kevin a little extra comfort. But that ball just, if he gets it in a little bit, just wants to go high and doesn't stop.
Well, and it looked like on Kevin's first shot that he really amped up. The adrenaline is on full tilt. And, if Kevin starts relaxing, Matt could be in some big trouble here. And obviously you don't.
He's going to need to hit this right lane. Matt is. Good try. Good try.
Takes the 6-10, leaves the 7, and he's going to finish on the left lane. But you're right. At some point in time, he has got to figure out the right lane, and he hasn't done it so far.
No, it's just, he's made one shot there where, he made a good shot, and then the next one he got in a little bit more to break loose. So, yeah, it's a difficult lane. It's one of those where you get in, it's going to not make it through, but you can't lose the one lane you got. You got to keep hitting it, and that's lane 7 for Matt.
There he is, left lane here. Second frame, on and open. And his ball reaction has really gone south.
Yeah, it looks like you got around that one a little bit early, but trajectory through the front end of the lane is hugely important, because if they get that, especially Matt, if he gets it started too early, then nothing's going to stop it from going to the face. Good spare. Now here's a shot, because Kevin, now he's on that Brooklyn strike, but you know, he can get some more room distance between him and Matt. And the more he does that, the more relaxed he's going to get.
You're watching the 2021 Indiana Masters here on Savage Bowling TV. We're in championship lanes here in Anderson, Indiana. Kevin McCune here now on a strike, second frame. Beautiful shot.
Yeah,
want to
great
thank
shot.
our sponsors here, Big Four Socks, Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette, Pinheads Bowling Center in Fishers, and Motive Bowling and Anderson, Madison County Visitors Bureau for their contributions to make this broadcast possible. You're watching here on Facebook Live as well as Savage Bowling TV, and we appreciate you taking your time out here on a Sunday. Weather's not great outside, but it's nice in here, and the bowling has been fantastic.
Beautiful.
And what does that tell Matt Sanders right there?
Yeah, that Kevin doesn't have trouble in either lane. So, you know, I mean, the time is running out for Matt. He needs to get one started here on this lane to send a message, but not only to Kevin, but himself, that he's got it figured out. And from watching it doesn't look like there's anywhere else to go. I mean, he's got to play in this area and just make great shots.
Oh, and almost a 7-10, 10 falls late. Just not the reaction Matt wants to see, though.
No, he's got to get in just a little bit, and then he's just not getting the ball to make the turn on the back. But what I've seen today, this condition is very difficult. It's very hard. Matt and Kevin both have made it look a little easier than it is. But and I find that's what's so great about this match is these two have really bowled so well. It's unbelievable.
Well, and Matt Sanders was looking to win the double. He's won the Scratch Classic, and he's missing the Masters from his resume. You know, remember, he was a singles high school bowling state champion for Evansville, and he knocked off E.J. Tackett to win that. So he's won some big events here in the state of Indiana, and he really wanted to add this tournament to his resume.
Well, he's still got time, but he's going to need to start soon.
Well, and your opponent has the front three, and
Kevin looks pretty comfortable.
You haven't thrown a strike yet. Big shot right here, fourth frame.
Good shot.
Now he's thinking, I need about 6 of those in a row.
Yeah, and carry.
And some help, and we'll see what happens.
But Kevin continues to make good shot after good shot. I mean, it's just he's bowling so well and throwing it so well, but has been able to strike.
Oh,
power, what
rips
shot.
the rack.
Great shot.
And you just see the confidence growing and growing right now for Kevin McCune.
Yeah, like I said, other than that first frame, you know, he's made great shots.
Oh, he has been absolutely dynamite since that second round loss to Trent Marner. And he's been on a mission.
Beautiful.
Front 5 for Kevin McCune. I saw, it looks like Matt has gone back to the bag to bring some stuff, and he's...
That tells you right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that tells you right there. If you're a game and a half in and you're still trying to figure it out, I mean, that's hard. And
especially when your opponent hasn't missed through 5 frames.
yeah, I mean, he's close. You can tell the ball reaction's close, but it's just not. It's just not. You have to be too perfect to get it to the pocket.
He's already trailing by 52 pins here through 4. Cut it to 42 with the strike right here. Oh, great
Beautiful
shot.
Beautiful shot.
And he's probably questioning, why didn't I try that in game number 1?
You know, when you don't get the practice balls, I mean, and it's so easy to get caught to try to keep doing what you've been doing all day, especially if you're the leader. You know, it's like, hey, what I've done has been working.
Yeah, it's like I told you before, how hard is it to go away from something that has worked all day?
Mm-hmm. Very difficult.
But you don't know until you get 4 or 5 frames into a match sometimes. Well, double 6 frame can cut it to 32. Oh, and he needed that one badly. I was almost going to wonder if he was going to try that ball change on the left lane. Obviously, he didn't have the confidence, or he thought he had the left lane kind of in control somewhat.
I mean, knowing what Matt knows, he knows he needs to strikes because, you know, Kevin McCune has set the pace and is setting the pace. So, you know, you just got to make those moves and try to strike. You know, Kevin just continues to bear down and does what you do when you try to put it away.
Oh, uh-oh. Well, when you're Kevin McCune and you haven't missed yet, the last thing you want to do is your miss being open.
Yeah, I mean, he's still not in danger of any kind yet, but, you know, yeah, I was going to say, didn't think that was going to come up.
Well, we know
it was going to get there faster than the machine.
We knew it was coming with some heat. I mean, when you got to put a license plate on your ball.
Yeah, I had thoughts of that.
Liable to get a
speeding
speeding
rake
ticket.
going right through the ball, going right through the rake. But obviously Kevin was paying attention, so that's good.
Yeah, because you got to figure when he gets all that momentum going to the foul line, it's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah. Now here's where you want to come back, though. Settle down and just make another good shot, just one at a time.
Well, just a 30-pin match now.
Wow.
4-pin. You just don't want to see the momentum go away, though. I mean, you just, you know, you're seeing strikes. You got good positive thoughts going through your mind.
You want your opponent to have to double the gain on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to give them anything. But that was a good shot coming back off that 4-6. And just make your spares. That's what you do now. Let's see if that ball will work again here on that right-hand lane. Not quite making it around the corner.
Well, if you're Kevin McCune, you're kind of smelling victory almost right now.
Yeah. But Matt's kind of in the place that where Scott was in the last match. You know, you're in that sticking with what you've known all day, and it's just not quite there. For whatever reason, could be lanes have changed. You're not quite throwing it where you want to throw it. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons to that. But Kevin McCune continues to make the shots he's been making all day.
All right, just 3 frames left here in the championship match between Matt Sanders and Kevin McCune, and Kevin in control, up 32. This is almost a must-strike situation for Matt. Great shot.
Good shot, yep.
You know, you're just letting him know it's not over yet.
One at a time, yep.
It's not over yet.
All you got left. And same way with Kevin McCune. He just needs to go out there and continue to make one shot at a time and send the message back. Except he's sitting with a bigger lead.
All right. 10-pin. Here's the interesting thing, though. Kevin is on a 225 pace. Matt Sanders can strike out for 224. Oh, that one's coming way back. This time the lane attendant doesn't have to go very far to pick that one up.
There's a good way to break an ankle going across there.
You wouldn't see me doing that.
No.
It'd have been the ugliest cartwheel you'd ever seen in your life. And 911 right after it. All right, now back to business here. Kevin McCune, left lane, 9th frame. Oh my goodness.
Good shot. He's making good shots. Just got to fill frames.
He still cannot be shut out, but there is a great chance of a tie. Again, we said this could go down as one of the better championship matches. The first game or two, or the first game.
Knocks the pin curtain down now.
The first game didn't deliver. However, this game could right here. And you just don't want any little thing interrupting your routine, do you?
Either one of you, Kevin or Matt. You know, Matt was ready to go to get this shot on the way and see what he can do, but it's just deep breaths and focus on what you're trying to do. One shot at a time. Both Kevin and Matt both just got to concentrate on what they're trying to get done out there, and when it's your turn, you do it. And
well, here you go. This is the tournament for Matt right here. Must strike.
Well, every shot he makes from here on out is this. Yeah, I mean, this is, you can't get to the next one without this one.
Oh, 4-6.
Broke loose, yep.
And he just couldn't believe it, overhooked.
Yeah.
And your winner is going to be Kevin McCune.
You know, very disappointing for Matt Sanders, but bowled great all day, and you know, lane 8 kind of got him in this two-game match here. But Kevin McCune bowled tremendously all day, and well-deserved champion.
Yeah, and boy, you just got to feel for Matt, who just keeps knocking at the door every time we come to the Masters or the Scratch Classic. He's won one Scratch Classic championship, but this is the tournament that has eluded him in his mind. And not that you were pulling for anybody, but boy, you would love to have seen that strike, and just how well would these two players execute at the end of the game. But it's for naught, because Kevin McCune is your champion.
Yeah, it's been fun all day to watch, you know, especially these two, how they've been able to adjust and make shots, and you know, it's been quite impressive from both of them. You know, the job Kevin's done coming out of the loser's bracket, and to get him figured out and to be able to dial in every game he bowled. You could see the first frame wasn't quite what he was comfortable with, but he made the adjustment to get it back, and just quite phenomenal.
Well, you knew, as you watched him win game match by match with really just dominant.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling too much pressure, you know.
He had a lot of stress-free matches leading up to this. Even in the finals of the losers bracket, the match was over by the 4th or 5th frame, and I mean.
Well, how many games did he start with the front 3, 4, 5? You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he just kept making great shots after great shots.
Well, there's your winner. There's a new McCune in the state of Indiana, and his name is Kevin. And you're going to see this kid a lot more than just this week. It's been a great weekend, and he is the 2021 Indiana State Masters champion. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to come back with the check trophy presentation, and Mike Aulby will be laneside with your champion, Kevin McCune.
Welcome back to the 2021 Indiana State Masters, and we've got some great spoils of victory here for Kevin McCune. We got the championship check for $2,000 and the championship trophy. Congratulations, Kevin. Thank you. Kevin, congratulations.
I have nowhere to hold it. I don't know really what to say, but I'm really happy with me and my dad pre-working out before this tournament. I mean, I haven't thrown urethane in about 2 years, and that's all I threw. So, I mean, being able to come out here and compete, just throwing urethane and just keeping myself in the pocket all weekend. I only had 2 games under 200, I think, for the 2 qualifying squads and then all this. So, I mean, just staying in the pocket was the key for me. I mean, I couldn't be happier with how the fast pitch and the pitch black rolled. And then the very last game, I actually threw a purple hammer because I needed to slow down, so I went to 16 pounds. I mean, I'm really thankful and great bowling to everybody else.
Well, Kevin, congratulations. It was some of the most impressive bowling I've seen in a long time, and your interview with Scott Gilmore before your last couple matches was one of the most comfortable interviews I've ever heard, and a game plan on what you talked about, bringing your equipment, and not only that, but how you saw things change, and was quite impressive. And I know you're not very old, so it was tremendous and well above your age group. But does your dad helped you a lot? Has Eugene helped you a lot?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working through a lot. I mean, a year ago I was really struggling with equipment, and now we've figured out multiple balls that I can do multiple things with. Like the fast pitch and the pitch black were 3 boards different. Like on 3 and 4 when I was bowling Jimmy Cook, the fast pitch went 60 feet because I think it just burned up, so I went straight to the pitch black and I ended up throwing the next 6, I think, just because it was 3 boards less and it saved a little bit more energy. So especially stuff like that and reading the lanes quicker than what I was doing a year ago. I mean, I struggled really bad here last year. I made the 2nd round and I shot 140 the 1st round because I couldn't keep the 2-inch pin I had on the lane. So this year I literally said before I came, I'm just throwing urethane and I'm going to play right because I strike more in this building right. And I was able to execute it, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, Kevin, congratulations, not only your grandpa Don, your dad Eugene, but yourself, Kevin. Like I said, a tremendous amount of adjustments, great bowling, some of the best I've seen. Matt Sanders bowled great all day today. We kind of saw you two kind of heading towards each other with about 6 or 7 rounds to go. So congratulations on being a great player, but also you've got a long ways to go for yourself.
Thank you.
What a great job today. McCune family is very proud. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And back to Scott.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast booth here, Scott Gilmore. And, man, what an exciting day of bowling here from Anderson, Indiana, inside championship lanes. And Mike's going to sneak through here again and join us back on the broadcast. And, Mike, nice interview there from Kevin McCune, and really a calm, cool, collected Kevin McCune.
Yeah, well beyond his years. I'm not sure how old he is, but well beyond his years. And like I said, I was so impressed with just the interview he did with you. And it's great to hear that Eugene has helped him, and I'm sure his grandfather has as well. But wow, what a performance today. I mean, Matt Sanders bowled great all day today and deserved to be the leader. But Kevin McCune, we saw him. I mean, he never got flustered. He knew what the plan was. He made the shots, and he's a well-deserved champion.
And really, Kevin steamrolled his opponents once he lost in that 2nd round of the winner's bracket, never shooting under 230, I believe. And obviously he made the comment that he only had a handful of games, a couple of games under 200 the entire weekend. So much-deserved champion in Kevin McCune. And you got to feel for Matt Sanders, who battled so hard, gets to the title match, and his ball reaction just wasn't what he needed it to be.
Yeah, I think we would have liked to seen him been able to hit that right lane, because that would have changed the match would have been, really close for both sides. But it's just one of those things. I mean, Kevin was able to make the adjustments all day and made great shots along with it. I mean, you've got to have both. When you get to the title match, I mean, you've got to have both. You got to make great shots, and you got to know what you're doing out there to get it done. Matt, it was a tough day for him to not finish it off, but we'll see him again, and we'll see Kevin again as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the heartbreak and the spoils, but the spoils this year go to our champion, Kevin McCune. For our producer, director, and engineer, Chad Lester, for Mike Aulby, Scott Gilmore, thanks for watching the 2021 Masters from Championship Lanes. Your champion, Kevin McCune.